Alright then, this is going to be a quick guide as to how to make a T1 aeroplane or airfoil, whatever you want to call them. It's very easy, contrary to belief. Takes a while to get used to it though. But yeah, it's pretty simple. It's not the hardest thing to do. And this is how it's done. Alright, so get some plain blocks first. You can use either the light chassis or the armoured cubes. I prefer them, obviously. Makes your plane a little bit stronger. You'll then want to get yourself some L1s, obviously because they use up the least amount of robot ranking. Or you can get it into T1s. And yeah, well, planes in T1s just win, because no one knows what the hell they're doing against them. Right, so you have obviously the basis of your aeroplane here. You've got your 2 wings. I'll put some back ones on and a fuselage. The reason you need 5 is because front 2 are for controlling up and down. The back ones are obviously for controlling up and down, and the tail is for stabilization while you're flying, so your plane doesn't decide to just spin in the air uncontrollably. It makes it much easier and handling a lot better. So first you'll want to, for no particular reason, stick some wheels on it. That raises the plane. You then want to get yourself a gun that is quite big and put that underneath it. That then raises your plane up even more. You can do the same again once or twice, and you'll have yourself a nice high up thing to work with. You can't. My bad. But once you're here, you add your work out which guns you want to use first. You can either use plasma launchers, SMGs, or rail cannons. Rail cannons on planes, not so good, because you're constantly turning to avoid fire, and your rail cannons take a while to train their sights onto the target. So you will more than likely never hit your target if you're trying to do that. But that's just me, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best person at flying and shooting. For this, we will be keeping it as a T1, and there will be 6 plasma launchers on here, just for shits and giggles, really. Well, see, I'll start out with a simple 3 to show the concept of the plane and how you make a T1 plane. You want your wings to face the same direction for fairly obvious reasons, and tail. Then obviously have to have one of these, annoyingly. One of these is always useful, so you can find the last of the enemies you're trying to hunt, and you will then need some thrust, obviously. T2s are pretty good for this. You just stick 3 of them on, and there you have it, a pretty good setup for a plane. That'll keep you alive and turning and moving quite quick. It won't be anything spectacular, but you're still well within the tier 1 section here. However, if you want to beef up your speed a little bit, you can keep the tier 1 at the front, just extend the plane by 1 section, which will elongate it just ever so slightly. But for this, we'll do it by 2, makes it easier. Put your wings back on it. And stick the guns back on there. And then add some T3s to the side. And the reason you want to keep your rockets in the middle is so you've got stability when you're flying, and one time lopsided. So you want to keep your plane fairly balanced. This doesn't, that front enemy radar doesn't really add a lot of weight. You may find that you need to add helium to the very front to keep the nose up, or it may actually just go straight forward like it's supposed to. We will find out in 1 second. Let's have a see what it should do. Takeoff's fairly simple. Turning is quite good, but as you can see, the back of the plane is very heavy because of the jets, so we want to swap where they are and try again. It's all about trial and error, so you try things out until they work. Maybe move them 1, 2 forward if we can. No, we can't. So what we will do is remove that and that. We'll put what I've got on my other plane at the moment, which is kind of nose section. Gives the plane some stability while it's flying. Also makes it look a little bit better too. Stick our wings back on here. Oops. So our wings back on. I want to add our thrusters back. I think that's the thruster elevation. Yes, it is. So add that as close to the front as we can, or if you really want to, you can just stick down straight on the front now. It's going to give you a lot of front movement, but you're miles into T3. So we'll put T3s on. All thrust is good thrust. You don't have too much flying forward power, especially when you're trying to evade people. And this is the setup I've actually got on my current plane, pretty much. So this will be as accurate to what I fly as possible. But yeah, it's very simple. Just keep your wings all organised and let's try again. Let's see how this one goes. To be honest, it's irritating when you start to practice because it just plonks you straight on the floor, which is useful to know. There we go. Right. We have our plane, it's flying nice and straight. Put our blasters in there as well. This is obviously nice and stable. Yeah, so this will fly around very quickly. Most people won't catch it when you're flying, pulling some stunts and stuff like that. People will find it quite hard to get the plane. Whatever, people off guard. I love shooting straight flying plane. Obviously, if you change the direction, people are going to be like, what the hell's going on here? This guy's not flying in a straight line. And obviously they sit straight. Makes it lovely. Plane in T1 is quite a rarity, and pretty damn good to them. No one's really going to really have the items to counter the plane. Fair enough, an extra, but it's going to take quite a lot to take you down, especially if you're using the armor plates. try to stick with it. Personally on this, I'll probably die maybe once or twice. 2-1, and that's only my entire team that's died first. It's a dying sort of something going to be something that happens when you go into it. Yeah, that is the basis of the plane. I mean, you can switch it up a little bit, you can adapt it, or you can copy it, I don't mind. Yeah, well, I'd recommend the plasma launchers purely for the power and the speed. I really wouldn't recommend rail cannons and SMGs, although they're good, they're no match for the plasma launchers. That would be my Bay 1. This is obviously something that, this was pretty much my first robot. This is before I realised you could only fire 6 of them at a time, so this does fly very nicely, it's very agile and quick, but it's big, and it's a lovely sitting duck for people with railguns, so I don't fly that one much. This is my current plane that I fly. As I said, it's 99% the same as the one I've just made you. Fair enough, it's a little bit different, and it uses more armor, but it's still tier 1, and it uses the same stuff. Front wings are tier 2 though. I use tier 2 wings on this one, but yeah, it's almost the same, just a little bit faster. So that is my guide on how to make a tier 1 plane.